it's good to hear. Obviously, coming from Nolan, but yeah, he kind of said that to me when we went up to Washington to hit. He was kind of happy with it. I went down there early in the off season and I didn't look very good, quite honestly. So anything was going to look better than what I did early in the off season. But yeah, no, that means a lot. Just kind of sticking with what I've been doing, trusting the guys that I talk to every day. Been getting drill work in, every day. They help me out and they're writing my program and stuff in the off season. But like I said, kind of started in the off or in the All Star break, really broke it down, you know, drill by drill, step by step. Um, just made slight adjustments, and I think what's great about baseball is that you have that off season kind of tweak with stuff and work on it, and then when you find something you like, you can build on that for a while. So that's kind of what I've done.
Lars, even dating back to the GM and winter meetings, both Mo and Ollie have stated that their plan is for you to be a starting everyday outfielder. Obviously, probably does wonders for you, but it also sets the bar very high. How have you responded to those expectations in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, you guys knew a lot earlier than I did. I talked to Ollie on the phone about the World Baseball Classic, and he said whatever I said in the news, don't believe it. And I was like, all right, and I just laughed and kind of went on with the conversation because I'm not on Twitter, so I don't see any of the stuff that he says. But I looked it up after, and I was like, oh man, that's kind of cool. But but yeah, I think it's great, but I still have to go out there and perform. The bar set a little bit higher, I guess, publicly, but for myself, that's always kind of been the goal. I want to be a really good baseball player, and um, being able to help out Goldie or Nolan in the lineup. Now, obviously, we got Wilson, but I think I want to contribute and help those guys and kind of alleviate some of the pressure off of them. So, yeah, maybe publicly the expectations are a little higher, but I promise not any higher than the ones I have for myself.
What does it mean for you to be the first non-Japanese born player to be part of the Japanese national?
Yeah, it's a huge honor. I mean, that's an understatement. I'm really really excited about that. I'm not taking it for granted at all. We've been reached out to by players that we've hosted in the past, the Japanese teams, their national high school team. Obviously, my family's getting kind of crazy over there for them. My mom, she's getting hit up by reporters and coming to the house and doing all that. So she's kind of doing her whole media tour right now, and I think she's kind of relishing the moment a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I spoke with the manager, and it really is a huge honor for me and my family. I'm just happy I get to do some that's special for my mom. Really, obviously for me it's great. I can't wait to play in it, represent Japan. But it's a special thing for me. I'm a mama's boy, so anytime I can kind of put a smile on her face and do that for her, pretty cool.
Is most all of her family in Japan?
All of it, yeah. She's the only one, here. So all her friends growing up, family growing up, everybody that is on her side of the family is in Japan. So pretty cool for them.
Did you reach out to the Federation, or the Federation reached out to you?
They reached out to me during the season last year. Yeah, I'll never forget it. We were in Milwaukee, and I got a call. And they said, "Hey, do you have any interest?" I said, "Yes." And they asked about my eligibility, about my parents and my background and stuff. And so cleared all that, but didn't really get the official word until recently. Really, had a few conversations with Ollie, Mo, and then with obviously with the team. So once that got all settled, obviously I was super excited. But yeah, they reached out to me, and I was like waiting the whole season. The whole season. I'm like, man, there's a chance, but I didn't want to get too excited. And so when I got that call, it was nice.
Are you practicing your Japanese, or are you just gonna bug Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, I am gonna try a little bit. Obviously, it's gonna be tough to learn a language in a month. So gonna try my best. My mom's singing the Japanese national anthem in the house and stuff, and so I'm repeating it, and so we're just doing little stuff like that. I just want to make sure I go over there, and I'm respectful of the culture. I don't want to go over there and kind of embarrass myself or my family or anything like that. So I want to make sure that I'm as respectful as I can over there, and don't leave a bad mark for myself or anybody because being the first American born, don't want to have any mishaps like that.
Did you get a chance to talk to Seiya Suzuki much at all down the stretch at all? I mean, I know you guys are playing against each other, but you're in the same spot a little bit. Do you know him or any of the guys on that team quite yet?
No, not really. What's funny is that Darvish, when he was first coming over, he was training over at USC, so I met him once, but a while ago. But no, I don't know anybody on the team. Darvish reached out to me. so that was pretty cool. But in terms of like personal relationships or anything like that, no. Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos and stuff, and my mom obviously grew up, you know, and she went to some games there, and you know, I imagine it rivals like a European soccer kind of over there. They have like the whole cheering section and everything like that, and Japan loves baseball, and so the fact that it's Team Japan versus you know whomever we're playing, it's going to be pretty wild over there, and so that was one thing that really um, was intriguing to me was being able to play in like a playoff atmosphere, a World Series atmosphere in March, and playing against super good competition. And so I think being able to play there is going to be great. So come opening day, um, you know the fans here are pretty passionate too. But it'll be like okay, like you know I just did this a few weeks ago.
How do you think you can contribute to by right? You know, what's the play or skill?
Yeah, I mean I think of myself as a zero tool player, honestly, you know, and I really do like that's kind of how I go about it is that I don't really have anything special, you know, in my game. I just kind of work really hard and want to try and be the best player that I can be. I hope Team Japan kind of accept me for that. You know, obviously I'm going to try and go play really good defense because you know a lot of effort it just goes into defense, so I'm going to try really hard there. I'm going to try to have competitive at bats and do that, but you know, I'm not the freak that Shohei is. You know, I'm not the freak that you know Mike Trout or some of these guys are. I just want to go out there and play really hard. You know, give it my whole effort, and you know, hopefully the chips fall. The chips are going to fall where they may, but you know, I'm just going to go out there and play really hard.
Was you had a solid run at the end of last season. You obviously got the call from Japan. Even MLB Network put out a poll for the best right fielders.
Shout out to the fans on that one.
Yeah. It just seems like there's a lot of momentum around Lars Nootbaar, at least from the fan perspective. Do you feel that momentum? Do you feel like this next year for you, it's going to be a big year?
Yeah, you know, I have high expectations for myself. Like I was telling Katie, you know, no one's got higher expectations than myself. But yeah, I think the best thing for me is that I'm not really on Twitter, you know, really. So I don't see any of that. I think that really is a lot of where the buzz is, like from my perspective. Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong things. I don't really know, but I don't really see a lot of what goes on, and so, which I think is really good. My friends and my family, they obviously see it all, but they don't tell me. So, you know, a lot of times it's just a distraction, and so I don't really look into any of those things. Great, you know, I really appreciate the fans doing that. You know, that's awesome. I did see that one, but yeah, you know, I'm just gonna go out and try to bust my butt and play hard this year. Help the guys, you know, and keep the clubhouse loose. Kind of, you know, do what I did last year, but obviously at a much better level. So yeah, I mean, Twitter, I guess, is good, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
How much the new pitch clock will affect as a hitter or will?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have some experience with that last year. I got optioned a couple of times, so I, you know, I'm not gonna. I might be the vet there and telling Goldie and Nolan how to, you know, how to kind of go about it. But yeah, it's gonna be a little weird. I think it's gonna be an adjustment for some guys. Their timing. Some of the guys that like to take their time going up to the plate and you know feel themselves a little bit. You know, it's gonna speed up the game that way. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not exactly sure how it'll be.
Autographing pepper shakers. How many have you now signed?
Yeah, the past couple of days have been. Yeah, I've signed quite a few the past couple of days.
It's a little difficult, more difficult than a bat, I would imagine.
It's a little difficult, but it's similar. You know, now I've learned to go. You know, what is it? Lateral, I guess. Sign it. You know, long ways, and so you know before it's kind of more curved if you do it that way. So you know, practice makes perfect, and I'm not there yet, but I want to get there one day. So you know.
Lars, you say you're not really too in tune with a lot of the outside noise and stuff like that, but does having some success like you did at the big league level last year change your confidence, your approach at all coming into this season with just having that experience?
Yeah, for sure. It absolutely does. And I was either telling, you know, Derek or Stan about that and kind of saying that like that's kind of the player, you know, like you always have dreams, right? You want to be the best that you can. After 21, I got my feet wet a little bit, but I still didn't really know like, okay, like can I be good? Can I not? And so I think after a little bit of it last year, my expectations just went through the roof. You know, I've always had confidence that I could be that player, but it was just like, okay, I don't really know. Last year had a little bit of success, and so now my expectations are going to be, you know, let's go get it. You know, I mean, you know, it's you. as a young player, you're very impressionable, and so being around some of these legends that I've been with, it's pretty crazy and remarkable. And I've been so fortunate to see how they go about their business, hang out with Nolan in the off season, and just like seeing how he does it, how hungry he is. And then you look up and he's got all the All Star jerseys, and he's got the Silver Sluggers and the Gold Gloves, and you're just like, man, like like teammate and a friend, and obviously I'm super grateful for him, but it's like let's go do it. You know what I mean? Like let's why not? So yeah, that was pretty big for me last year.
Lars, you mentioned working with Nolan in the offseason. What other work have you done? Who have you been working with most during the offseason?
Outside of going down to Nolan's, I kind of just sit on my couch and just chill. No, no, I've been doing that the same. I've been going to the same workout spot in town. Been going to UCLA a ton. I got a buddy that's a grad. He's a grad assistant over there, and he's also with the Yankees. And so it's been a nice setup in the mornings. Go lift, go straight from there to UCLA, do some defense, do some hitting, throwing, whatever it is. And their coaching staff has been great. So we basically, it's like, we just go there and we have a field and cage and whatever we need, all to ourselves. So, yeah, I mean, getting some stuff from him, what he's learned too, is awesome. Hearing what they have to say as an organization and what they value and stuff. And so, being able to take that and add that to my game, I think that's helped me a ton this offseason.
By the end of last season, I think you cracked in the top 100 in exit velocity. What have you focused on? Is it bat speed? Is it exit velocity? How can that help your game?
Yeah, I think my main focus this offseason has been like squaring the ball up better, being more efficient with that. I think you see guys like Nolan who don't necessarily hit the ball like Stanton, but he's hitting 30 plus every single year. And I think he's just so good at squaring the ball up. He's probably the best in the world at it. And so for me, that's been a focus of mine. Obviously, we want to continue to hit the ball harder. That's always the goal. But maintaining that with also being more efficient with my moves, I think is kind of the focus.